Boom, welcome back to the TNEC cast. Your man Shuff with the man Weapon K. And like I always say, we are the TNEC cast. Sorry, miss you last week. Texted K. I was doing a little bit of traveling, wasn't gonna be able to make it, but I was having a good time. I'll just leave it at that. So, but we here ready to do another episode for y'all. Obviously gotta do our housekeeping, like, comment, subscribe, and keep giving us ideas. We've been better about, replying to the comments. So, keep commenting, telling us what you guys like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. And our favorite question, Kay, how you feeling?
I'm chilling, my man. I'm chilling. I am chilling. All right. So we had technical difficulties. This is take two. I'm going to have to say it because I'm going to have to ask you the same question because perfect segue. So we're not going to waste it. Today we're going to be talking about off-season strategies. I'm in prep. You're now in prep. We talked about man, this sucks, man, because it's not real anymore. Right,
Yeah.
so Isaac, you've been a while since you had not a productive off season, but like an actual off season,
Real off season,
a
yeah.
chunk of like a block of time where you can actually sit down and focus on growing. So
So basically, what we were talking about was we were talking about how we kind of figured out, well, not figured out, but basically so from the end of 2020
yeah,
to the middle of 2021, it was actually August to August. Started off, won my pro card, and did a whole bunch of competing after,
yep,
and I did 10 shows in 12 months. And in between, I didn't have any off season. It was like I literally took like a month break and boom, and went right back into a prep. And you know wasn't, I mean, 21 by, I would say, the normal standard, like, how most people think, was pretty good. I had a couple top threes, won some money, did things like that. But for me and what my goals and what we talk about, absolutely was not okay.
yeah.
My physique started to tank, then I got sick, and all these different things, so I didn't actually get a chance to have a true off season or a true chance to grow, because a lot of people don't realize 3 months is not a growth season. Don't start thinking that.
Nope.
Don't get that into your head, because any muscle that you build in that 3 months, you are going to lose probably 80 to 90% of it during your prep. So, because it didn't have a chance to mature. But Kay, I know you had a list. I know you were going through your list. So
The list is
let's.
gone.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like
so
on a notepad.
but I remember what you said. I rememed what you said.
Staying on
So
track. I mean,
it was,
staying
it was
locked in.
locked in. It was staying locked
Yeah,
in.
there we
It was
go. We
people
fumbling to it.
yeah,
Okay.
people say, oh, because so this was the joke that we were talking about in the pregame, because people say I stay locked in like it's prep, but all that, so this is a very Texas joke, but yeah, but they go into Whataburger all the time,
Mm-hmm.
that ain't on no meal plan, you know what I mean? And the one thing is, before we're gonna let Kay run with it. Don't say you look, coaches, whoever, you don't need a refeed while you're growing. Okay, you don't need a refeed while you're growing. Call it what it is. It's a cheat meal. You're taking a nutrition break, whatever you want to call it. Just don't lie and call it a refeed. Call it what it is. It's okay. You ain't gonna get in trouble. The judges don't know that. The judges at the table ain't fine. Oh, you went there. You gonna do it. Call it what it is. Don't try to lie. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So as you were talking about, being locked in, and you were talking about how you're locked in. Let's
Yeah.
go there.
So I go to sleep at the same time. I wake up at the same time. I set my alarm at the same time to eat my same meal over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what leads to a productive off season, right? And it's starting to be like habits. Habits. You start getting to a rhythm. You start getting into a routine of things. And that's when I realized like prep is the perfect catalyst to learn how to actually live life.
Mm.
Because it's routine.
Mm-hmm.
You do like, and that's the thing where it's just like, if you are real, like if you kill prep, like honestly kill prep, and you're not a genetic elite, you can do amazing things outside of bodybuilding. You can be a great coach, great businessman, because it's the same, because it's literally the same thing. You just check your boxes. That's what bodybuilding is. Putting muscle on is easy. Check your box. Did you eat your meal? Did you rest? Did you train your butt off? Next day, same. So and that's staying truly locked in. You want to add something to that?
Well, not just because you hit it, like, and I think social media is a catalyst for this. Too many people get caught up in trying to do all this different stuff. And I'm telling you, the best posts and the ones that we share talk about the mundane part of this. Same thing day in, day out, day in, day out. Now, look, you can spruce up your meals a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, your macros really don't change. You're still, because look, 28 grams of protein that you need to get, or whatever your number is, it doesn't, look, your macros don't necessarily care where you get it from. You know what I'm saying? As long as you hit your calorie, you hit all your numbers. But being consistent and doing the same thing day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, that all these people that are great, and I think it's like across the board, that's what it is. There's a lot of boring parts about greatness, because you'll see the result and you'll see the championships, you'll see the whatevers, but you don't see that they're literally doing almost the same thing every day. Like, Kay, you're talking about, I wake up at the same time. It's the same thing. Only difference is the difference is you're in a surplus versus a deficit. That's what happens when you start to live the bodybuilding lifestyle. Because for us, anybody that's in the sport, the gym is the easiest part. It's easy. You get your lift in. Now, as you're starting to get deeper into the sport, and now we have to start worrying about, lagging body parts, keeping our symmetry and things like that. The gym is still the gym though. Lifting the weight is lifting the weight. You just have to, have more of a target. But, that staying focused, that staying locked in, can you do the same 3 things every day for a year? It's easy to say yes right now, but wait till you're 8 weeks in and you're bored. You see the results as fast as you want, then all the other things. Do you have the stick-to-itiveness to keep going? That's the great, especially in what we do, that's the great separator. Can you stick with it for as long as you're supposed to? Because most people can't. Just as a coach, I've had a lot of people started prepping. Yeah, they figured out, nah, I can't do this. Sometimes I got to tell them, no, you can't do this. I feel bad when I got to do it, but it's the truth. But that's the thing, because in the off season, so we're talking about locked in. That's where a lot of people just happen to veer off. This is what's going to kill some people. Your off season is more important than your prep.
Way more important.
And that's what people don't realize, because you can't keep, if you just keep dieting, you're basically just going to keep bringing the same physique. Then your physique is going to revolt against you. You start losing muscle, start to atrophy, like you can go catabolic. It's so many things that are going to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to do is you take that time off, especially. So I'll use Kay as an example. I can use myself as an example, really, but I'll use Kay as an example. He was given things to work on. What did he do? He went and worked on them.
Simple, right?
What? But the thing is, this is what you guys got to understand. Muscle needs time to mature. Just because you went and put on some nice size in 6 months, did you allow yourself to have that muscle mature? So like when I grew, I took about, I got up to about I think my biggest weight was about 191. I lost a little bit just because I didn't like carrying that 191. I hated that. I was about 186, 185, 186, and I stayed there for about 2 months. So the muscle that I built had time to mature. So it holds on. That's why I'm able to hold size right now. Because even when I had my mini off season, whatever you want to call that, I put about a pound of muscle on you, and I could see a noticeable difference. That jump was going about 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 or 3 weeks in the prep, it was gone because it didn't have time to mature. So when you look at it like clay, the difference, hardened clay ain't gonna move that easy. Wet clay, you can just take that knife and that thing goes flying. That's the same thing with this. So that's why you gotta treat your growth season like that's the most important part of bodybuilding. You see the shreds and you see the prep, you see everybody's go hard. It's that off season, man, when you sitting there growing and stuff ain't as hard as it used to be because just a little pokey here, stuff like that. Can you make it through that? So one thing that we talked about, I don't know if this was on the list or not, but it's following a plan in the off season. So we're talking about being consistent, we're talking about checking off. Are you following a plan in the off season? you know, and everybody, like whether you have a coach or not, and whatever you guys decide. I mean, if you're not following a plan, I'm telling you right now, stop talking about how you want to go pro. Stop talking about how you want to get a pro win. Stop talking about how you want to do all that stuff, because the people that are doing that, they follow a plan still. So, you know, Kay, what kind of plan do you follow, you know, when you're in the off season?
Oh, I'm more of just like give me my meals and I'll just eat them, right? So it's just like I usually, literally, usually all the time I do my off seasons, right? So I'll just map out my meals and say it's like 6 ounces of chicken, 300 grams of rice, blah 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 blah, and then I'll annotate how many macros that is. I have an actual Excel spreadsheet that I can pull up. And then on the bottom in the notes, it'll say like 2 untracked meals on this day and this day. And that is it. So my refeeds, those are just untracked meals. So if I want to go to Whataburger and get my patty melt with my cinnamon roll, I can do that on Sundays. Or you just put that on like a post-leg day so you can utilize the nutrients. Right, so you got to be strategic with your cheat meals, your refeed meals, your fat boy meals, whatever you want to call them, dog. You know, tomato.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's literally just like just march to the beat of your drum. At 4 o'clock, I eat my meal. At 8 o'clock, I eat my meal. At 12 o'clock, I eat my meal. Something that you touched on was I call it a holding phase.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so whenever you start your off season. Right, you get your health right, you get a little body fat on you. That's probably, let's take 6 weeks post show, right? So you compete in January, that takes you to like mid-February. Now you start your off season, right? Now you think, okay, let's do 20 weeks of off season, 1 pound each week, and then I go into a holding phase. So 180 to 200 after those 20 weeks. And then you hold there for, let's say, 4 to 8 weeks, right? And then you do a mini cut. Let's come down, let's say 5, 6, 7 pounds, right? Clean it up a little bit, have some more runway to continue the off season. If you're going to do another off season, like you have more time, right? If not, then that mini cut is prepping you straight for prep. You just added a lot more runway, and especially after that holding phase, where you your body is used to walk around at 200 pounds. You're good. That cemented muscle, I hate that word, but that cemented muscle is more solid.
Yep.
So whenever you create that deficit, that's not the first thing that goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Because your body is just like, okay, we have lack of food. Something has to go. Oh, this new tissue that he just put on his calves, gone. That's what happened to me, and that's why I have small calves. Okay? So learn from my mistakes.
It goes quick, man. It goes quick. It is first thing I said, no, bye.
Literally, because it doesn't need it. Like, why do we have this muscle? We need to survive. Because that's what prep is. Prep is your body is literally fighting you to survive. Your body doesn't want to be 3% body fat. Your body doesn't want to be, 10, 12 for a female. It's uncomfortable. Things stop working. You know what I mean? Also, with the timeline, plan what you want to weigh, because if you just say I'm going into an off season, right, and you have an entire year to work and you don't structure it, you're going to get fat in the first 3 months. Your P ratio is going to be off, which is like your P ratio is like the amount of fat gained and amount of muscle gain. So if you get way too fat, the amount of muscle gain is going to decelerate and the amount of fat gain is going to accelerate. So you're just getting fatter and getting less gains. So it's just like here, right? So what you do is you plan it out. Okay, 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound. Okay, I can bump it up a little bit. 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds. I am a fat piece of shit. Half a pound, half a pound, half a pound, half a pound. Okay, I need to stop because I am 15% body fat. I need a mini cut. See my abs for a little bit, and let's press again. And this is where this is where a lot of people get messed up. They stop seeing their abs, or that little bicep vein disappears. Or, I'm just kind of squishy, man. You sit down and you got a little love handle. It's just like, I'm going to go into a cut. It's like, okay, go for it, man. And then you go into a cut. Oh, man, I'm looking small. I'm going to bulk up. Okay, go for it, man.
Jump on that. Go ahead. Jump on that him.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead and spin your wheels for the next 3 years chasing a pro car that you're not going to get because you're just going back and forth and back and forth.
And what you're talking about is you gotta commit to your growth season. So as we're talking about the plan, you talk about the structure. You have to commit to it, because something that we talked about, some of our markers. We're part of the tiny waist gang. So one of the things when our waist hits a certain point, we look at that. We look at weight. You look at certain markers to understand. Okay, I've kind of hit a certain point where okay, now I need to chill. And when you hit that point, because see me. It was 190 or 30-inch waist. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, we did the same thing. Yeah.
I actually hit them both at the same time. So I was like, that's a win right there. So I'm doing something right. And then I just, came and I was like, all right, I got to just use chill. But what Kay was talking about, now this is where you have to be very cerebral and look at your body as data. Mm. You can't look at, I don't look the way I want to look. I mean, look, it's going to happen. It happens to Let me say this. All of us.
We're human.
All of us. Mm-hmm. The C-Bums and the Raymonds of the world happens to them. The Kyries and the Isaacs of the world happens to us. It happens to all of us. You get messed up. Oh, man, I don't look, da, 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 da. And I tell people, like, there's be one day where you think I am Mr. Olympia today. Nobody in the world can beat me. You can turn around, look in the mirror again, and oh my God, I need to do 10,000 sit-ups because I'm way far behind. Yeah. That's the reality of what we do. So with that being said, you kind of got to put that in a box, feel it, and then put it in a box. I'm not going to tell you to not feel it because that would just be a lie. And then as you're going through, it's like, okay, you got to go through these different phases. You got to go through the phase where you talked about possibly losing the bicep vein, losing the abs and all these different things. But you're doing the work that you're doing today is to show up on whatever your next show day is. Mm-hmm. So all that work I was doing through the fall and through the winter was for September 3rd. That's all I had on my mind. So I'm doing this for that. I'm doing this. I don't care. And this is something I say to our athletes. I'll say, like, look, I don't care how you look today. I don't care how you look tomorrow. I don't care how you look the day before the show. I care about how you look on show day. Yep. If we've done everything we're supposed to do, you're going to look right on show day. And that's what you got to tell yourself. Because it's that's easier said than done. So don't get it confused. I'm saying, oh, this is the easiest thing to do. And I ain't telling y'all that. What I'm saying is you got to not just embrace the suck, not just embrace the fluff, but you got to embrace the process. You have to embrace it and understand it. Because if you just keep letting it, like, if you let the process control you, you're going to be in trouble. Mm-hmm. Because you're eventually that current, and then you're just going to be seeing stuff, and then you're just going to give up. Or you're going to go, you're going to go into the, I'm too big, I'm too small, too big, I'm too small, too big, I'm too small. And then you never, process, because I want to shout out James and Martin. James is my coach, and Martin's one of my, my teammates on that side, and my brothers, both, obviously love both those guys. So what Martin does, I think it's 2 years off and 1 year on or something like that. Mm-hmm. His year on, he's on. You know what I'm saying? He's doing mad shows and he looks crazy right now. He looks crazy. I'm going to see him this weekend at Super Show. That's where you embrace that growth season and you have a mission. Like how is your mission to get on stage as fast as you can, or is your mission to win?
Two different things.
That's what you got to think about. Like, what is your true mission? Like September 3rd, I got a mission. Love you, Murph, and I'm coming for you. You know what I'm saying? I got a mission. You know what I'm saying? I got a mission. I need this win. Like, I don't want it. I need it. That's all. Like, seriously, I'm training. That's all I think about. Not trying to let certain people down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta win. I gotta win it. Like, this ain't no, be nicer. No. I need it.
Yes, sir.
But that's what's going to drive you into growth season. That's what's going to allow you to be okay to be a little, like, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going to drive you to be able to do it. Because if you don't, and I'm not trying to go all the way back to you need your why. And I'm not trying to make fun of that, because I do believe that. However, once you start getting to a certain level, now it's like, okay, what's going to drive you through these phases? Because do you know how bad I wanted to step on stage this weekend? I wanted to do Super Show, especially after seeing all my brothers at DSC. I was like, all right, if I really go do this, da, da, da. But the thing is, I respect them too much and I respect the sport too much. I'm never going to step up there half stepping.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, that's how we talked about. Don't rush to get on stage. Now, I do always, one of the things I say as a pro, you should try to stay about 6 weeks out. But there's also that time where you commit. Like I'll put it like this: if you're somebody, now on K's side, there's more athletes at the shows and everything like that, right? So you kind of go, to me, it goes, you kind of want to go top 10, top 5, top 3, win. Those are kind of like your steps and how you kind of want to, make your goals. So if you are consistently sitting outside of the top 10 and you've done that for like 2 seasons, you need to take some real time off and fix your physique. It just is what it is. There's nothing wrong with it.
But why? I could win. I promise you I can win. But like my abs.
How that been
Instagram.
Can't take them, shout out to Goob. You can't take them filters and you can't take all that goofiness up there with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what people don't realize. And it's because they want to blame everybody. Oh, it's the judges. Or they want to, say, oh, it's stop blaming, man. You not, and I get it. Sometimes you gotta bump your head a few times to learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Hello. I ain't gonna sit here in front. I've had to do that. But it's like if you're not consistently progressing, that means you need to take a step back and improve yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I have this conversation way too often. People don't want to take that 9 to 12 months off to really improve their position. You're not going to improve your position if you keep giving the judges the same physique, you're going to keep getting the same feedback. You're going to keep getting the same placements. And then what's going to really happen that's going to upset you is you're going to start sliding back even further. Mm-hmm. Somebody got to get last place. Don't let it be you.
So all in all, you want to be a pro, you want to be an Olympian, you want to be the best of all time, you have to do what they do. And they take off seasons very seriously. Extremely seriously. So if we have to do one takeaway statement, lock the fuck in, man. Come on. Yep. And it's time. And I understand, like, it's kind of hard, especially like when you're in the deep of prep off season and you really don't have a show picked out. So it's like the goal is kind of fuzzy.
Yeah.
But that's when, like, you look at like national shows, if you want to go national, or even natural shows. It's literally the same time in the same window, same like 2 weekends, give or take, every single year. So Super Show was this time last year.
Almost exactly.
You can kind of predict. You can be like, okay, I'm going to take 2023 off, but in 2024, I'm going to go for this pro show. It's going to lead me to this show and then this show. So have something. I have it written in my on my whiteboard, and it's like I have to update 20 weeks out, 19 weeks out. Or 30 weeks out, 29 weeks out.
Yep.
Play the game and stay locked in mentally. Because at the end of the day, bodybuilding is, in my opinion, fully mental. Because physically, you can be like, oh, I'm so strong. But what happens when it burns? What happens when you want to have that cheeseburger? What happens when you don't want to do your cardio? Or if you want to do your cardio, go for it. But you go way too hard. Like, I can do extra cardio.
Yep.
You got to pull yourself back, pull yourself forward. Stay locked in. Also, if you can't afford it, get a coach in the off season, and this is all going to be handled for you because you have someone to hold you accountable in off season. That's why I love prep so much because you have someone to hold you accountable if you get if you're not on track and actually moving. But in the off season, it's easy to get fat. No one's looking at you. You know what I mean? You're in a shirt.
And here's the worst part. You look great in a shirt. Everything's all filled out. Yep. Where that shirt come out and you like,
We know what's up, man. We know what's up. We see you, bro.
Okay.
But yeah, guys. That's all I got. You got anything?
Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll leave it at that.
Easy. We'll see you guys next week. Y'all be easy.
Peace.